Hey, this is Mike Durr, Kingwood Mortgage Guy. Listen, I wanted to go through this 4 things needed for a pre-qualification, and I wanted to do this fast so that you could look at this quickly. But what I'd like to do is just get started. I'll go through each of these slides as quickly as possible, and then if you have any questions, I want you to call me. Okay, how's that? All right, so why get pre-qualified with us? Well, we're local. We are here in the Houston metropolitan area. We've been in the business for 20 plus years. We treat our clients like family. That's no BS. I want you to look at our reviews. I'll put a couple in there, and we get our deals done. So that's the reason that you might want to do it with us. By the way, our rates are pretty good too. So 4 things needed to get pre-qualified. You need an application, you need a credit report, you need documents, and then you need to go through the automated underwriting engine. So hopefully that makes sense to you. I'm going to go through each one in more detail. So let's talk about the application. The application takes about 5 to 7 minutes. It asks you for personal information, your social security number, your date of birth. I mean, it's really personal information. It asks you where you have lived in the last 2 years, where you've worked in the last 2 years. It asks you where you bank and how much money you have in your checking account and your investments. And it asks about the income and what your position is at that business. It asks about financial events in the last 7 years, whether you've had any bankruptcy or foreclosure. Let me tell you, it's an intense application, but it's pretty easy information to fill out, and it takes just a couple minutes to get it done. And the reason that they're asking those kind of questions is because they're considering lending hundreds of thousands of dollars to you, and they expect to get that money back. So pretty simple. So the credit report's going to tell you what your credit scores are. It's going to tell us how you've handled your monthly credit obligations. It's going to tell us how much debt you have, and it'll tell us what monthly credit obligations are, so how much each month that you're required to spend. So just expect that to happen. And again, one of the things that we talk about is getting this all done within an hour if we have the documents needed. So the documents needed is we need a copy of a driver's license and a social security card, copy of the tax returns, last 2 years, all pages, copy of W-2s or 1099s for the last 2 years, copy of the last 30 days paychecks, copy of bank statement, investment accounts for the past 2 months. We're getting those because we have to see that you've got the money to put down and to pay your closing costs and to pay all the costs that involved in buying a house. And then if you're self-employed or retired, that's kind of a special situation. But I encourage you to call me on that. There's just a few little tweaks that we'll make to the documents needed. Automated underwriting engine. There are generally 3 primary underwriting engines that we use. The first is DU, or Desktop Underwriter. The second is LP, which is Loan Prospector for Fannie. The first DU is for Fannie, LP is for Freddie Mac, and then GUS is for the USDA loans. And there may be others. Those are the 3 primary ones. So after you get through that process, which actually, if I have the documents, it takes me about an hour to go through the data to make sure that all the numbers are right, to throw it into the underwriting engine after we've had your credit report. And guess what? You're approved. Now, this tells us exactly what you qualify for, how much. It's going to tell us specifically what we need to receive that approval. And then if for some reason the underwriting engine comes back and it's not approved, it'll tell us what we need to put in there or what we need to do to get approved. So this is, I don't even think it's necessarily a bad thing when you get not approved. It's just kind of a path that we're going to go down a road to get you to the place where you can be approved. The pre-qualification letter, this is a big deal. Congratulations. You're going to use this letter to let realtors know that you have been vetted, that you have given your information over, your credit's been pulled, your income's been verified, your assets have been verified. And sellers want to know that you've been, you have provided the financial information because they're getting ready to take their house off the market and basically take for 30 or 45 days. They want it to happen. So they don't want any mistakes on this. So it's a big deal. That letter is a big deal. I take it very seriously. Now, before I move too far on, you notice it says pre-qualification letter. It doesn't say pre-approved. Today, in the world we live in, a pre-approval only comes from an underwriter. And I am not an underwriter. I am a mortgage loan originator. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've actually been an underwriter. But in this particular case, I just wanted to make sure you had that designation. One other thing, you can get a pre-qualification letter without giving any documents. But the truth is, I wouldn't do that because there's too many variables, and just do those documents because you don't want to go through a process, spend money on inspections, spend money on appraisals, and then find out later that you're not going to be able to consummate the deal. So we think that this is the best way. The terminology, pre-qualification and pre-approval, the pre-approval used to be just how I did it, just how I'm doing it now. They just changed that and they made that an underwriter designation today. Okay. You want an accurate mortgage estimate, and that's one of the things that I do. After I do the pre-qualification, I'm going to get you a document because I believe you deserve an accurate estimate of cost. You want to know what your payment will be. You want to know how much money you're going to need. You want to know how much you can afford, and you want to know where all the closing costs that you're spending are going, and we provide all of that for you. So I think that'll make it good for you. Am I worthy? Well, I've got 84 5-star reviews on Google My Business, and I'm not even going to go through these. I want you to look me up, okay? So what we just went through is 4 things needed to get pre-qualified. It's the application, it's the credit report, it's the documents that verify the information that's on the application, and then we run the information through one of the industry standards, the DU, the LP, or the GUS, okay? And then finally, why get qualified with us? Well, we're pretty good at it, and our rates are pretty good, and we're local, and we've been in the mortgage business for 23 years. We treat our customers like family, and that's no BS, because I encourage you to read the reviews for the Kingwood Mortgage Guy. And the bottom line is we just get our deals done. So hopefully you'll be interested and will call us, and we'd love to talk to you and see if we can help you get pre-qualified for a home. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.